Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. My name is Honorine, and today I'm with Xiaonan Jiang, who is a PhD student in arts education from China. Xiaonan, welcome, and thank you for being with me today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Xiaonan Jiang, and my English name is Nancy. And I use that name since I was an undergraduate student in the major of English language. So my friend also call me Nancy. Right now I am a fourth year PhD student in the program of museum education and visitor-centered curation in the Department of Art Education at Florida State University. In the next week, I'm going to defend my camps, and hopefully I can defend it successfully. Then I can become the doctor candidate. And then I am approaching to my dissertation writing. I have a bachelor's degree in English language and literature and a master's degree in art administration. Before I pursued my studies at FSU, I worked as an associate professor at the Shandong University of Arts in China. So in the past 10 years, I have prioritized my life, my family life, and I spent most of my time on housework and also taking care of my family. And I have a 10-year-old son. So I spend a lot of time playing with him and accompanying him to visit a lot of interesting places, including museums. And that hence my research interest in museum education.
So much to say about that. First of all, congratulations on all your A's. You should be proud of yourself. It's a big accomplishment, especially when you have to deal with new adjustment as an international student, but also as a mother being away from your home country. It's difficult to be an international student, and people don't always realize that. So you talked about those challenges that, in 2017. Was this related to your son, or how did he adjust to this new life? Was he going to school? How were you balancing? Did he come back with you when you were doing your PhD?
Yes, again.
Okay. So how do you balance, or do you balance this work life as a graduate student, which is time consuming, and your mother life, your family life, which is also very time consuming? I feel you have two full-time jobs.
Yes.
So how do you do it?
Thank you for your question. And you're right. Actually, being a mother is like a full-time job. And so for my first time being here, Peter, my son, was 6 years old. So he went to Gilchrist in Tallahassee, the Gilchrist Elementary School in Tallahassee. And at that time, it's interesting, at that time, he didn't know any English. He couldn't understand English. He can't speak English. So, but he was so excited about taking school bus. He just jumped on the bus and then started his new school life. And I was so appreciative that he had Miss Hall as his primary school teacher, and she was very kind and patient. She accompanied with Peter the full I believe it's the full first semester in grade 1, and he enjoyed his school so much. So that helped me actually helped me take care of him. So I can got some time to do my schoolwork while he was in school. And also we joined some Tallahassee sports activities after school. And there we met our lifelong friends, Jennifer Patterson and her family. She has her son similar age to Peter. So they become friends, and I and Jennifer become good friends. And so we spent Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter at Patterson's house. And they just treated us like we are part of the family.
Yeah,
So
that's a beautiful story. What would you tell to all these mothers who are doubting or hesitating about going back to school because they have a child or children?
I think that's a very good question. And I'm still thinking about whether this is I have doubts every once in a while, because Peter was with me for quite a long time, so he's a little bit detached with his dad emotionally. So I still have doubts, but most of the time my answer is it is worthwhile, because this experience is very, very different. And also mother can be a very good model for teaching children. So instead of telling him you should study hard, you should do this and you should do that, why not just show him?
Yes. Yes, that's
So
very true.
that's my suggestions. And also I want to say that mom can be very powerful.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes we didn't realize we can be so energetic, and also we can do a lot of things than we expected and than we had thought.
No, that's a beautiful message.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your research.
Before I talk about what is community-based exhibition, I would like to see some background information about museum and also museum education in China. In the past decade, the Chinese central government gradually mandated that all the state-owned museums should gradually eliminate admission fee. So it brought a surge in museum visit in China. And at that time, from that time on, I accompanied my son to visit museums. And at that time, I realized that museum can have educational values. So, but at the same time, when I did a lot of research about museum education in other countries, especially in the US, I realized that in China, the educational function of museum haven't been exploited to the full sense, fully. So that's why I applied for a visiting scholar position in the US. I just want to learn more about this field, and I have interest in this field. So after I did my doctoral studies, I gradually understand the current theories about museum education. Actually, museum, instead of just showcasing some works or artworks and exhibit them, put them on the right place, actually there are a lot of interesting programs and approaches that they can engage visitors. And that's one effective way to implement the educational function of museums. So that's something I learned from FSU. And I learned a lot of, I get a lot of hands-on experiences from my internship at the Rimings Museum. And we also did a lot of class and lectures and group discussions at MOFA. So that's very nice. Those nice experience gave me professional knowledge and skills. And at this time I realized that in China, in the art museum in China, especially in our city, we don't have those nice approaches. So when I came back and do a course assignment in a local museum in our city, I saw that there are some nice exhibition, and I call it community exhibition because all the artwork are from the community, and to be specifically from the children in the local school of children from the community. But the museum educators just put all the pictures on the wall or display them on a shelf, but there weren't any participatory activities, hands-on activities, or art making activities to engage visitors. So I talked about my thought with museum educators in this museum, and they welcome my proposal and they asked me whether I can help them co-curate 2 museum exhibitions or community exhibition, because we didn't use some famous artist work, but use artwork from the community. Wow. And they have some common theme each exhibition. So we agreed to co-curate one. And wow. in these 2 exhibitions, I will use what I learned from FSU. And so I can involve visitor-centered approaches. That means we consider how to engage visitors. We value visitors' perspectives. So instead of we tell the museum visitors why this is good, what is this about, we want to hear what visitors think about.
That's fantastic. Is that your future goal, to be able to do that in many different museums all across China, or in a specific town maybe?
I'll first start from my city.
Uh-huh.
And then if I got any other chances, I would like to do more, and I want to use this special knowledge and professional skills to change the museum in China, especially art museums in China, and so more people can benefit from it.
My last question is, how do you see yourself in 5 years from today?
Looking back on what I have accomplished, I thought of the story "Who Moved My Cheese." Have you ever heard about that? Who
No.
moved my cheese?
No.
So it's a very interesting story. Once our major professor Pat shared with the whole class during one of her class. So the cheese means something that you are dreaming of, and you made your efforts to pursue. But sometimes the cheese is touched by or moved, so you kept chasing. And when I read that story, I was so I resonated so much, and I remember at that time I cried. Because at the age of 14, before I came to US, I never worry about what I should do. I just I think I indulged in my comfort zone so much. And at the age of 40, I walked out of my comfort zone.
Wow.
And became a PhD student. And I think about what I have accomplished. I thought I found my bigger cheese here at FSU and in the field of art museum education. So in 5 years from now, I can see that I probably still I'll still teach in the University of Art in China, in Shandong province, but at the same time I'm working for the school art museum. Right now, the museum is in the process of building. So I will work for both. I will teach about museum education, and also I'm thinking I will work for the museum to get some first-hand experience there. So I think I will still chasing my big cheese, probably this time here in China, and I'll enjoy it. And that's it.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate your offer.